Hello everybody, Up Games, and welcome to another tutorial, this time about Voronoi diagrams. I'm going to teach you how to make this. So basically, it's just a way to divide an area into between different points. And yeah, I'm going to teach you how to just divide the area and then also to make this noise-like pattern thing. Yeah, let's jump right into it. So I'll just open a new project here and we'll get right started. Here we are in a fresh Unity scene. So let's just create a script called Voronoi diagram and open up that script. Yeah, let's just take out the mono behavior stuff for now. So we'll inherit from the mono behavior because I'm gonna plop it in the scene. Yeah. First of all, we're gonna need a vector2 int called image dimensions. Just go that, and let's make it a public one, so we can change in the inspector. And then after that, we're going to need a integer, a public integer called region amount. Yeah, and then let's just make a texture 2D, and that's gonna be our method get diagram. Let's also make another one called, and that's gonna be also a texture 2D, and that's get image from color array. We're just gonna pass in a color array to that called pixel colors. Yeah. And then we're going to make a vector2 int array called centroids, since this is going to be the points that we're going to divide the area with. And that's going to be a new vector2 integer array with the size of region amount. Then we're going to make a for loop for int I is equal to 0, I is less than region amount, I plus plus. And then we're just gonna send centroid I, and that's gonna be equal to a new vector2 integer, and we're just gonna make it a random one. So random range 0 and image dimension x, and then just make another one random dot range 0 to image dimension dot y. And then over here we're gonna also add a color array regions. It's gonna be equal to new color array with the size of region amount as well. And we're just gonna make, in the for loop, we're gonna make the regions equal to a new random color, and just random range 0 f to 1f, and let's just copy that for all the RGB values, and then 1 for the alpha. and we're gonna make a couple for loops. So for in x is equal to 0, x is less than image dimensions x, x plus plus, and do the same for the y. So for int y is equal to 0, y is less than image dimensions, that's y, y plus plus, and then let's close that out. And then we're just gonna make a new int, and that's gonna be get centroid index. And then we're gonna pass in a vector2 int called pixel position, so pixel pos, and then we're gonna pass in our centroids array. So vector2 int array centroids. So we're just gonna make a float closest smallest distance, so smallest dst is equal to float that max value, and then we're gonna make an integer called index, and that's gonna be just 0, and then for int I is equal to 0, I is less than centroids dot length I plus plus, and inside of here we can make if vector2 distance pixel position, and then centroids I is less than smallest distance, then the smallest distance will be equal to this. So vector2 distance pixel pos position, and then the centroid. Semicolon there, and the index will be equal to I, and then we'll just return the index. Let's change it to get closest centroid index, because that's what we're doing here. And now here we're gonna, before this we're gonna make a color array pixel colors, and that is gonna be equal to a new color array with the size of image dimensions x times image dimensions y. And then for every pixel we're gonna set pixel colors. We're gonna have to do a int index, and that's gonna be equal to x times image dimensions x plus y. That's how we'll find the right position in the color index. So here, index, that's going to be equal to regions, and then we're going to put in our get closest centroid index, pass in our new vector2 int xy, and also our centroids. Yeah, and after that we're going to work on our get image from color array, because now we have our color array. So here we're just going to do a texture 2D text is equal to a new texture 2D. It's going to be equal to image dimensions dot x image dimensions dot y. And then I'm just gonna make like change the filter mode. So text of filter mode, it is equal to filter mode point. Then we're gonna do text that set pixels, pass in our pixel colors array, and then text that apply, and then return texture. And then here we're just gonna do a return get image from color array, pass in our pixel colors. Yeah, let's just test that. So let's make a void start, and let's just do a sprite renderer. No. So let's just do a get component sprite renderer sprite, and that's going to be equal to a sprite dot create, which is a static function. So you just call it like this, and that's going to take a, let's put a get diagram, then a new rectangle, so new rect 0 0 image dimensions x, image dimensions y, and then we're gonna do make the pivot. So this is gonna be in the center, so we're just gonna do vector 2.1 times 0.5, and yeah, that should work. Let's just test it. Let's make a new 2D object. It's a sprite, and add our script. Just make something like 512, about 512, and let's like make 50 regions and test it out. Yeah, and there you have at least the dividing by color. So next we'll make another one. So let's just do a texture to make the noise like texture thing. So a texture 2D and a get diagram by distance or something like that. Call this whatever you want. And let's just, for now, let's just first copy what we did here, because it's really similar. We just get rid of the regions. Like so. And then here we're going to, well, we can just keep it there. And let's just make here a new array, and that's going to be a float array called distances. It's going to be equal to a new float array with the size of image dimensions dot x times image dimensions dot y. And after that, we're gonna go into our loop here, and set distances index to be equal to vector2 dot distance between a new vector2, let's make an integer one, xy, and then we're going to put centroids, square brackets, and then get a closest centroid index and pass in a new vector2 integer xy and our centroids. And then let's make a new float, get max distance, function, a method, and then we're just going to pass in our distances. So float array distances. So let's just make float max dst is equal to float that min value, and then for int I is equal to 0, I is less than distances length I plus plus, and then let's make if distances I is less than is more than max distance, then max distance is equal to distances I, and we're just gonna return max distance. Yeah, so float max distance is equal to get max distance. Let's pass in our distances. Then we're gonna make a for loop for int I is equal to 0, I is less than distances length I plus plus, and since we know these two arrays are the same length, we can just do a pixel colors I is equal to a new color. And let's just make a float color value, and that's gonna be equal to distances I divided by max distance. And let's just color value, and color value for all the RGB values, and let's put 1F for the alpha value. And that should be done. So let's just test that. Let's make a public bool draw by distance. Let's make it false, equal to false for now. And here we're gonna make this brackets and put a draw by distance question mark colon, and then a get diagram by distance, like so. yeah, there it is. Just check that box and test it out. And there we go. I hope you learned something. I hope this was interesting. If you liked the video, like the video. If you want to see more in the future, subscribe. Yeah, see you next time.